Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is the Nick Beasley Show, and this is live. Obviously, we have to start out with some breaking news. Unfortunately, Von Miller, Bills pass rusher, future Hall of Famer, we're all assuming. Maybe, maybe not. NFL's Von Miller facing arrest warrant for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. There is an arrest warrant out for Buffalo Bills linebacker Von Miller with the charge of assaulting a pregnant person, the Dallas Police Department confirmed on Thursday. Rebecca Lopez of WFAA in Dallas first reported Miller was facing a third-degree felony charge after his girlfriend said he assaulted her at their home. Lopez reported the linebacker had not been arrested as of 9 a.m. on Thursday. The Bills released this following statement. This morning we were made aware of the incident involving Von Miller. We are in the process of gathering more information and will have no further comment at this point. The NFL said in their statement, we are aware of the matter and have been in contact with the club. We have no further comment at this time, and neither do I. I'm not going to comment on this from a personal, human being standpoint, other than if this is true, Von Miller, keep your hands to yourself. It's that simple. There is no reason to do that. At all. There's no reason at all. Obviously, these are allegations that are massive. This is the last thing the Bills needed as a team to have these allegations levied against them. And I hope that Von Miller didn't do this, but if he did, I hope that the NFL handles this the right way and handles their business the proper way. As it pertains to football, this is the last thing the Bills needed. They're currently sitting with a small chance to make the playoffs, and Von Miller field is a prolific pass rusher that would be a great addition to any roster at any point. Now let's get into the next subject because I'm not going to touch on it too much. Let's get into the next subject, which is Thursday Night Football tonight. Seahawks, Cowboys. The Cowboys are coming off a huge win on Thanksgiving. As for the Seahawks, different story. They're coming off a loss over Thanksgiving. However, I do think that having the week off is good for Seattle. Obviously, Geno Smith, not greatly healthy, but he had a week off, right? So maybe he gets back and gets better. I don't know. But as a Seahawks fan, I'm excited to watch this game. I will be live streaming during the game. It's a tough spot to be in for Seattle because Seattle's sitting there with, the chance of a playoff berth on the line. If you're the Cowboys, you've already been to the playoffs. Like, you're going to be in the playoffs. That's a done deal. But you're also sitting there 8-3. And you've got the Eagles who are 10-1 playing this weekend against the Niners. That's a big game. I'll be live for that game as well. When the Eagles and Niners play. But the Cowboys Seahawks tonight, gonna be a big game. Gonna be an interesting game. I'm excited to see how it goes. Obviously, if you're Seattle, it's a must-win game for you. Right? You're coming off a loss, and Geno is injured. Kenneth Walker's banged up. I don't know if he's playing or not. Dak Prescott's playing incredible football, MVP level football right now. So I think he'll be there, obviously, right? Like, he's going to be in the MVP conversation. I think Dak will play really well tonight. I think CeeDee Lamb's going to play great tonight, but they don't have a bell cow back yet. I think Pollard is going to become that eventually, but at what point? When will he become that? But I do think that Von Miller's situation is bad for Buffalo. And as far as the Thursday night game, I'm picking the Cowboys. I don't I don't trust Seattle's defense. That's the thing. I don't. Now let's get into the WWE because obviously it was last weekend, but Survivor Series came and Survivor Series went. CM Punk is back. He had a promo on Raw this past week. Um, that promo was cookie cutter. Cookie cutter. That wasn't real. That wasn't real. Like, guys, come on. We all know that was not real. That was not CM Punk. That was a scripted, top down version of CM Punk. But, who knows? Maybe the CM Punk that we once knew and all loved is a changed man. I don't believe that. Also, it looks like CM Punk is possibly going to be facing Roman Reigns as his first feud, avoiding Rollins at Rumble. So, are we going to get? I'm just spitballing the idea here. I just want to put the idea out there. Rollins, Punk, Mania, main event for night one. Obviously, you have Cody and Roman as night two, but Mania main event night one. Rollins, Punk. I don't care what else is on the card. That's your Mania main event for night one. You can't have them open Mania, and you can't have them open night two. You have to have the main event night one if that's the match we're going to get at Mania. And I think it is. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it because, think about it, guys, we don't get. We never thought we were going to get Rollins and Punk, and neither one of them have ever had their Mania main event. Let that be the main event of night one. Obviously, Roman Cody's night two. If it's happening, Roman and Cody's night two. But you have to do Punk Rollins night one. Mania main event. I am excited to see, though, however, what happens with Rollins going into Rumble. Obviously, he is defending his championship this Monday against Jey Uso. Jay's not winning it. I think we're going to have something with Punk and Rollins after Rumble going into Mania, but as far as Rumble, I think we're going to get Punk Roman. And Punk is not the guy to take the title off Roman. It's got to be Cody. You want Punk to take the title off Rollins? Okay. But you can't let him take the title off Roman. That cannot be the way you go. It just can't. You have to have Punk and Rollins for the title, not Punk Roman. You can have Punk Roman for the title, but you cannot have Punk take the title off of Roman after all this build-up and all this time of fans wanting Cody. It's got to be Cody that takes it off Roman, and it's got to be Punk that takes it off Rollins. It doesn't have to be Punk that takes it off Rollins, but he's there for a championship. As he said at the end of his promo, looking in the camera, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money, and that's true. He's here to make money. He does not give a crap about friends. And I do want to talk about this real quick because Punk kind of teased it a little bit. AJ Lee possibly returning to the WWE. He did name drop her, and like, I get that's his wife. He's gonna talk about her, but it's not often you hear them say that the company asked, "Hey, by the way, how's AJ?" And Punk goes, "I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, AJ is doing fabulous, and she sends her regards." I think we're getting AJ Lee at the Rumble, and if we are, let's go. I love that. Are you kidding me? AJ Lee at the Royal Rumble? I absolutely love that. That's the kind of stuff we need. That's the kind of stuff we need. We need that big return from AJ Lee. Now that Punk's back, it's possible. And I would be head over heels excited for it. I love AJ Lee. She's an incredible talent and seems like an incredible person. We got to talk about AEW last night. Swerve Strickland versus Jay White. Swerve versus Jay White. That was a banger of a main event. Oh my god, that main event was a chef's kiss. It was beautiful. Everything about it was awesome. Now, let's talk about March 3rd. Revolution. Sting's last match will come in North Carolina. Now, there's two ways they could do this. They could honestly do Sting losing his last match and that being the reason he retired, right? But since Sting's already announced that it's his last match, and Ric Flair is going to be there, you know, the nature boy, the styling, profiling. Do we maybe have, just hear me out, because it is professional wrestling and things happen all the time, right? Is it possible that we could get Sting turning, I'm sorry, my bad, Ric Flair turning on Sting in the match, and somehow we get Sting versus Ric Flair in 2024? Now, I don't think it'll happen, because I do think this is Sting's last run. I mean, the guy's like 63. He needs to retire. But, and I'm not in the I am not in the minority that wants to see Ric Flair wrestle again. I think I'm in the group that, no way, no, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't even touch it. Don't even entertain Ric Flair in the ring again. The dude's like 77 years old. He doesn't need to wrestle anymore. He's done. It's okay, but he's done. Now, you want to do storyline? I think Sting has to fight Darby. I think he has to fight Darby. And I think Darby has to go over. I think if they do Sting versus Darby, and it would make sense, but Darby has to go over. Because for Darby Allin to be able to beat a guy that is a legend, an icon, a Hall of Famer, would do astronomical things for his career going forward. I kind of point to Roman versus Undertaker at WrestleMania 34, I want to say it was, 34, 35. Might have been 35. Might have been sooner than that. But I think you have to do Sting Darby, because I think fans will boo Darby to start out because they're not going to like that he beat Sting. But fans will realize that it's good for Darby that he beat Sting. Just like it was good for Roman that he beat Taker. Just like it was good for, it was WrestleMania 33. But just like it was good for, trying to think of, it wasn't good, I'll tell you this much. It was not good for, at all, Brock Lesnar. Brock shouldn't have been the one to take the streak. It should have been Roman, but they weren't ready for Roman at the time, so it ended up being Brock. But I do think Sting and Darby have to be the match. Has to be the match. I think Darby Allin being under the mentorship of Sting all these years, which is great for him. It's done wonders for his career. He beat Sting in Sting's last match. Retires Sting? You've got a main eventer right there in one take. A main event talent. Now, do I think that's what Tony Khan will do? No, I don't. I think it's what he should do, but it won't be what he does. Unfortunately, Sting will win his final match, and I can't believe I'm saying unfortunately, Sting will win his final match, but unfortunately, Sting will win his final match. We do need to talk about it a little bit. The NFL needs to press pause. ESPN, all of you people, y'all need to stop with this bashing Josh Allen stuff. Seriously, we're over that. Okay, look, we get it. Josh Allen turns the football over a lot. But you know what else he does? He makes incredible throws and gets his team to win games. Last week against the Eagles was not on him. That was on that depleted defense. A piss poor O-line job by the Bills. And a field goal kicker for the Eagles that sent it to overtime. Sorry about it, but that's a fact. Last week was not on Josh Allen. The current MVP favorite is Jalen Hurts, and I will say this much about the MVP. I think the MVP needs to go to, and I am not kidding, DaRon Bland of the Cowboys. He is the only cornerback in NFL history. Think about this. NFL has had so many great corners, including Deion Sanders, prime time. DaRon Bland's the only one to have 5 pick six in a season. And he could have more than that. Logistically, he could get a 6th one tonight. He could get a 7th one against Miami. I mean, Tua last week against the Bills, or against the Jets. There are chances for DaRon Bland to... he's already broke the record. Extend that to where it's unbreakable. DaRon Bland should be the MVP, I think, in my opinion. I know it's a quarterback award. But guys, when Trayvon Diggs went down for the Cowboys, everybody said they're done. They don't have somebody on the back end. They've got Micah Parsons, and that's it. What happened? DaRon Bland stepped up and said, I got you. I got it. I'm going to take care of business. And he's taking care of it. 5 pick six in one season, and he's going to get more. It's going to happen. I think Dak Prescott is playing incredibly good football. I don't think he's playing the best football in the NFL. I do think the best quarterback play in the NFL right now is coming from Brock Purdy when the 49ers are healthy. When the 49ers are healthy, like 100% healthy, and there's no injuries, there is no better offense, and there's no better team in the NFL than the Niners. I think the Niners are rightfully favored against the Eagles this weekend, and I think the Niners are going to win that game. As long as Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams are all healthy, they're going to win the game. I do, however, think the Eagles are a great team. Their defense is not as good as it was last year, and their offense is not as good as it was last year. Jalen Hurts is dealing with something with his knee, but obviously they won't say anything. But yeah, I'm calling it right now. The San Francisco 49ers will win the Super Bowl in 2024. And it breaks my heart to say that. The Super Bowl is going to be Niners, and I think Chiefs, because I think Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce, they'll figure it out. Andy Reid is a great coach. They'll figure it out. Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback that nobody else in the world has ever seen before. The guy is doing it greatly. They're going to figure it out. It's going to be Niners Chiefs, and I think the Niners are going to win because I think their defense is just unstoppable. And their offense, when everybody's healthy, unstoppable. When Brock Purdy is able to sit in the back, sit in the pocket, and just go, dude is unstoppable. There's nobody better right now than Brock Purdy at playing quarterback, I don't think, when the Niners are healthy. Now, I know what people are going to say. Well, you said, yeah, when they're healthy, they're the best team. And I get that. And we need to have Brock Purdy prove that he can play great quarterback play without Deebo, without Trent Williams, without Kittle, without Ayuk. But do we? Think about it. He's way better already. He's 10 times better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? What's Jimmy G doing in Vegas? He's sitting on the bench. They got a rookie starting over him in Vegas. I mean, nobody is playing better at the position right now than Brock Purdy, in my opinion. Jalen Hurts is playing great. But he's also not playing to the level he was last year. I love Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. But last year, that Eagles team, you looked at them and you said, that's the best team in football. This year, you look at them and you go, they're the second best team in the NFC. They're the fourth best team in football. I think the Chiefs are better than the Eagles. I know that they beat the Eagles, or that the Eagles beat the Chiefs, but I still think if you've got Mahomes, Kelsey, Rashee Rice is coming on. He's getting better. Andy Reid, the back end of that defense, the great pass rush in that defense with Stone Cold Chris Jones. You can't go into there and say that the Chiefs are not better than the Eagles. Period. I don't care if it's on paper. I don't care if it's on the field. I think the Dolphins are the sixth best team in football. I think right now you look at the whole picture of football right now. You've got the Niners, the Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, Dolphins. Niners, Ravens, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, Dolphins. That's my top six. I don't trust the Lions anymore. I did. I don't anymore. I think the Lions are a below average team. They're great when they're playing bad teams. And I know the hit on the Dolphins and the Cowboys is going to be the same thing. Well, they're blowing bad teams out, but they can't beat a good team. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. The Dolphins could have beaten the Chiefs. The Cowboys could have beaten the Eagles. They kept it close with the Eagles, and I think that they're going to beat the Eagles in a couple weeks. And I think the Dolphins are going to come on, and they're going to get better and better and better. And when the Dolphins and Cowboys play, I think the Cowboys are going to win that game because I don't trust Miami's defense as much as I do Dallas's. And a lot of that has to do with Deron Bland. I don't think Miami right now is a Super Bowl team. Obviously, the loss of Jalen Phillips is massive. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team at this moment. But I do, however, trust Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert, when healthy, Devon Achane, who is absolutely killing it as a rookie at the running back spot. In my opinion, nobody's better than the Niners, though. And the Ravens are right there. But you can't. I don't know if I could. I don't know if we can trust Lamar in the playoffs. Can somebody tell me we can trust Lamar in the playoffs? If we can do that, then I'll put the Ravens ahead of the Chiefs. But I can't say that I trust Lamar right now in the playoffs. Now I want to get into this fun stuff. So I got bored yesterday. I got really bored. And I decided to have some fun. And I did a mock draft. And I think, as it sits right now, this is just first round. CM Punk turns heel at WrestleMania and Heyman turning on. You know what? I can see that, except I don't want Punk to face Roman at Mania. I think the Mania match has to be Punk Rollins, Cody Roman. I don't think you can have Punk Roman at Mania. I think Punk Roman at Rumble would be a better match. But I do like the idea of a Punk heel turn and teaming with Heyman again. Although Punk doesn't really need Paul Heyman right now. Right? Like CM Punk doesn't need Heyman. He's great on the mic. But I can see that happening. I could definitely see that happening with Punk turning heel and joining Heyman. Yeah, I like that. You know what? Actually, I really like that idea. I didn't think about it that way. That's a good conversation to now have. CM Punk turning heel at WrestleMania and Heyman turning on Roman. You know what? I could see that now. That would Punk versus Roman, Cody versus Orton, Seth versus anyone else with Damian cashing in. You know what? I think Cody and Roman needs to happen at Mania. I think Punk and Roman doesn't. I think Punk and Roman needs to be a Rumble match. Orton and Cody, I wouldn't mind seeing after WrestleMania. I get it. At WrestleMania would be great, but I don't think Cody needs the match with Orton until after Mania. And the Seth versus anyone thing, I don't think you can do that with what happened at Survivor Series after the show when we saw that video of Seth out of the War Games cage, flipping off and cussing Punk, and then after what Rollins said at the live event on Sunday, with the fact that he doesn't respect Punk and all this, and what Punk said on Raw and what Rollins said on Raw, I think you have to do Punk and Rollins at Mania. Which is bigger for Mania, Punk turning heel or Cody dethroning or losing to Roman? Okay, you've gotten me. You've got me. Hold up. Which is bigger for Mania, Punk turning heel or Cody dethroning or losing to Roman again? Yeah, see that's a good question. That's a really good two-part question. I think the bigger moment would be Punk turning heel. If they wanted to do the Cody dethroning Roman or losing to Roman, I think the crowd would go ballistic. He lost to Roman back-to-back years at WrestleMania. But we have already seen Cody lose to Roman, and we've already seen, kind of a fall off in Cody's being over. He's not as over as he was. And Punk right now is the hot hand, as he should be in professional wrestling. So, that's a good I think Punk turning heel would be the big, yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm seeing it now. Punk turning heel would be the bigger moment. But would it be a bigger moment if Punk turned heel against Roman with Heyman? Or if Punk turned heel against Rollins and helped Damian cash in?